It's Friday, May 4th, and this is the Heroclix Show. Tonight we're going to talk about the IG tournament last month. That was month 4, sealed 2 Galactic Guardians, 400-point teams.
We're going to talk a little bit about, a teeny bit about month 5. What we think the teams are going to be. We haven't really done playtesting yet, but we'll get to that.
We have a rough idea. We've played a few games out.
And we're also going to announce the contest winners, the giveaways.
Winners? Did you say winners? More than one?
More than one.
We said there's only going to be one. Why is there going to be more than one?
Because we love giving.
You better watch this. What'd you end up cracking in your packs? Your boosters?
I didn't play this tournament.
Why didn't you play?
I enjoyed watching.
Sat out this one?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. We have most of the Galactic Guardians going into the tournament. So we were basically just playing for the Time Gem and the Gardener. I ended up playing. I wanted to play. I cracked myself a Chase Dr. Doom, the only one with the Chase there. And I got the super rare...
Lord Marvel.
Lord Marvel. Did a little bit of playtesting on this map beforehand. Didn't really do too much practicing with Seal, just made some observations on the map. Obviously, stealth, we were like, oh, stealth, hindering everywhere, but there wasn't really any great stealth figures, and I'm sure people will come and be like, well, you forgot about Blink.
And you learned to play Doom really well, because I've been playing him a lot lately. I've been playing with him with Edward Nigma and some...
He taught me everything I know.
Everything he knows. A little bit of calling tricks.
Yep. Yeah. So Mole Man was cool on the map, because you could stealth him out, get him to his outwit click. Stealth with outwit is sweet. Downside is there was a lot of power cosmic going around, so I wasn't sure how good outwit would be this time around. But one observation I made in our playtesting on the map was stealth is the obvious choice for hindering, but what was maybe less obvious was how good phasing, leap climb, and flying was to just not have to worry about your movements on the map filled with hindering. So parking your guy in hindering was sweet. So I decided a good strategy would be to go with running shot hypersonic, try to play the range game, outrange your opponent. Their charges might be weakened if they have to work around hindering. To get to you. So my whole game plan was to go in there with hypersonic speed characters, running shot characters, pick off my opponent's hypersonic or running shot characters first, and then I pretty much had all the time in the world to worry about charge figures and figures with no movement attack at all. Plan worked really well, but I'm not going to lie that having a Chase Doom didn't hurt anything either. So I ended up going with at 210 points I went with Chase Doom. At 106 points I went with Redshift. Hypersonic game plan, 3 damage. That was the other thing in these sealed events. I like going with 3+ damage. You crack impervious, you crack invulnerable. You don't need that penetrating, although penetrating damage, Psychic Blast, Exploit Weakness, all that's great. But sometimes you don't have that as an option, so 3 damage is the trick there. And then for my filler piece, basically these were my main 2 strikers. For my filler, I went ahead and went with a stealth figure with flying, because like I said, getting stuck and hindering sucks, having to have your movement. And I went with Elijah the Laser Fist, and she did her role well. She was basically, I used her as a tie-up piece. What I would do is, if they had a running shot figure, I'd go park her adjacent to that running shot figure to tie them up, and then count on her scroll shape change plus regular shape change to just evade attacks. She was stealthed out, so the person she was adjacent to tying up could attack her, but it kind of limited what my opponent could do there. What was nice about using her was her scroll shape change was being copied by my Dr. Doom using his wildcard team ability. So he was power cosmic and he had scroll shape change, which definitely saved my butt in a number of games. The highlight of the night for me was my very first game. He knocked me down to my 5th click on Doom, and I had a Redshift adjacent to a surfer tying him up. My Redshift was on click number, and I'll throw up the dial so you can see what I'm talking about here. My Redshift was on click 6. As you can see on the dial right now, click 6, I have an 8 attack with Blades Claw's Fangs. It was over. I mean, I really didn't have a chance. I think I already lost Elijah in that game. I think it was just Redshift and Doom, and Redshift was ready to go. He was just tying up Surfer. Redshift, at the very end of my turn, rolled a crit hit, double 6s on Blades Claws, and then followed up with a 6 for my Blades Claws roll. Completely changed that game. It was awesome. My Doom followed it up with a Pulse Wave, and I don't think I won that turn. I think I won the turn right after that, and from there on out, every game seemed a lot easier after that, not because my opponents were worse. I just got some really good rolls in the night. My scroll shape changes were going off fairly well. Like, I see my scroll shape changes pretty much always. And I was just pretty much game plan work. Take out running shot guys, take out my hypersonic guys, and then just outrange my opponent the whole game. I mean, that was my strategy in every match. It worked out well. I won the tournament. Didn't lose a game.
Okay, the moment you guys been waiting for. We're going to announce the winners for...
How about we announce one winner? Why don't we keep them waiting?
Okay. We won't...
Ooh.
The first one we picked, we thought it was extremely funny. We were laughing about it on the way to the tournament.
And this is actually why we're picking two winners. You can actually thank this person if you want. We would have went with only one winner if it wasn't for this post, because we're not even sure if he's going to collect on his prize. So if he doesn't, we have another winner that's going to get a prize regardless. So we went with two winners here because of his comment.
And Unsub001 says, I don't need the Hulk. Do not give me the Hulk under any circumstance.
No, we will do what we want to do.
And we're sending it to you, so...
So go ahead and contact us. Message us on YouTube. You get a Hulk. We liked your comment. It made us both laugh. We thought it was funny. If you really don't want a Hulk, don't worry. We'll give out another Hulk. We'll give out another Hulk in this video, and I'm sure this isn't our first Hulk giveaway. We're trying to get our hands on a couple of pieces people want. I'm sure we can get another Hulk out there, maybe an Agent Coulson if people want Agent Coulsons. This won't be the end of the giveaways. Like I said, 2 will be given away tonight, and I'm sure we'll do it more.
Alright, so Month 5 Infinity Gauntlet, as you know, is a 700-point tournament, which is built on the idea of having at least 400 points being Galactic Guardians, and the rest of it, the whole tournament, is going to be modern. So, a lot of speculation on what the teams are, a lot of people have been testing, and we think we have an idea of generally what the teams are going to be. Galactus with White Flash is one of the teams.
Yep, and then you have some points left over for support. There's a lot of talk there. I've heard a lot of different ideas what to do with your leftover pieces with Galactus.
Yeah, a lot of different types of support. AIM Renegades,
roulettes, some combination.
And another funny one I've seen lately is the Gravity Feed Doctor Strange. So you give him Energy Shield Deflection, and then you can perplex his defense up so he gets a 23 starting, in the back, which is not too bad. And then what's some of the other teams, Rob?
Some of the other teams, I'll actually go to the next one we start playing with, and that is teams built around Chase Thanos. The basic idea is you run him at his 350. He represents 350 of your 400 Galactic Guardians. You fill the extra 50 with, I'm thinking maybe Cosmo, and I'll get to the reason why. It basically has to do with Thanos' ability of pulling people across the table, setting them down adjacent. The idea is you put Thanos out there. They've erected Thanos, so you can't do this round 1 because of round 1 immunity.
It now says you must target them before it just said opposing.
Yeah, so you used... Under the wording before, you could win the dice roll, turn 1, suck over the Galactus, do what you're going to do, and now you can't do that. Now you have to wait at least till round 2, assuming Galactus is not moved out of his starting area or moved at all. So basically, turn 1, grab Galactus, set him here. Then you're going to have a kill box set up where you're gonna load it up with as much psychic damage as possible and just blast away at him. That's kind of the concept with the Thanos, and that's kind of where the support for for Galactus kind of goes out the door. And that's why I want to do a lot of testing with that, because right now, any support, some of the bigger support people are talking about for Galactus just completely goes to crap once Thanos grabs Galactus. Like, you're just throwing those points away, so there has to be a better use for those points, and that's kind of what we want to test out, and maybe we'll have some ideas in next week's episode.
And it's very similar to the Nightcrawler pull killbox scenario, just on a grander scale. And a little more crazier, even though it's a higher points.
Yeah, well, and then what I've been testing out, or what we've been playing with in the test we have done with this matchup is, you have your kill box set up, and what does that kill box look like? I don't know. We've tried out a few things. We've tried some Moonstones. We've played with that. I like some combination of things involving Metron, because then you end up with a prop, Psychic Blast. Also, Thanos' ability to switch speed and... Our movement and attack on Metron's top click is nice, because you get a double perplex on Metron. Metron has a 12 movement, a 10 attack. You basically swap those numbers as a free action using Thanos, and then not only is Thanos sucking over the Galactus, you now have a 12 attack on your Metron, and that's assuming you're not enhancing everything else, and that's where Cosmo comes in. Cosmo will be parked adjacent to Metron, giving him another +1 to his attack. So it's not +1, read the team ability, but it's an effective 13 attack on Metron with 5 penetrating damage. and that's just you still have a lot of points left over there. We've worked it out to where you could one-hit kill Galactus, but I'm not sure that that's the best route either, because you're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket using enhancers.
And most people run Galactus with the Gauntlet, and they have super senses, so that's if they don't hit any of their super senses.
Yeah, super sense rolls hits, and you don't want your whole team based around trying to kill Galactus turn one. So we kind of redid that team a little bit, and you throw on the Gauntlet in the case of Metron Thanos teams, which I'm sure there's better ideas or other ideas out there. But in the case of this team, throwing the Gauntlet on Thanos is pretty big. With his 19 defense, you perplex up his D to a 20, and you start getting your Gauntlet rolls in there as a secondary plan. So you basically suck over Galactus, you do a big amount of damage to him, maybe not kill him, but you do enough. And I had his clicks memorized when we were testing. You basically want to keep him off Pulse Wave, and you want to keep him off Energy.
I think 4 gets the first. He's got Pulse Wave for the first 4, I believe.
Yeah, so Galactus loses Pulse Wave after 4 clicks. So that kind of brings us up the other team, Zeron the Tester at 600 points with some configuration of support, kind of like Galactus. What sets Zeron, what kind of makes him different is, sure, he doesn't have his free White Flash Herald, but what he does have is unavoidable 6 damage before the game even begins, and that can just wreck a game plan. You hit, even if you can get 2 unavoidable damage through, if you can get your opponent to fail 2 tests with Zeron, that's enough to knock Thanos off of his click that can suck people over. He can take out your support pieces, he can take out your enhancers, it can really mess up your game plan. The other scary thing about Zeron is you're more prone to fail test if you're running the Galactus team, because you're not going to have that many pieces, so your odds of failing the test becomes higher. So what I would like to try is, I kind of want to tweak this Thanos team a little bit more, to where it's less prone to fail its Zeron test while still maintaining a good matchup against Galactus. That's kind of the direction my mind is going.
It's where it's going to come down to as well, knowing everybody's dials as well, because you want to know what you got to do. Your penetrable or your unavoidable damage. You got to know who to hit. You got to know their dials. You got to know what abilities are where.
Yeah, the Zeron player has to be smart. He can't just be like all 6 to your big guy. That's a bad strategy. We actually. I don't want, it's not a horrible strategy, let me rephrase, it's just, in our testing, we have tested that match out a little bit. All the damage was dealt to Thanos, and the Thanos team still won that matchup. So, I mean, I think, and we talked about this afterwards, that was actually a match where we're using Moonstones as well for penetrating damage. Had the damage been dealt to the Moonstones to knock them off of their penetrating damage, I think that match would have been completely different. Because what ended up happening was damage was dealt to Thanos, and the rest of the team was all completely intact. On the Moonstones, the ATA was being run, so they had scroll shape change as well as regular shape change, and the numbers were just stacked against Zeron to where just the damage kept pushing through it. Ended up becoming down to Zeron hit Godhood, and Thanos was on apotheosis approaches, or the special 2 on the Gauntlet, and Thanos just eventually grinded it out and won it, just because by the time Zeron was able to handle all the support pieces in the game, it was a little too late. Alright, we're going to announce the second winner for the Hulk. We're giving out 2 Hulks. Ooh, man, I'm white over here. We're going to go with, and I don't know how to say her name, that's what we're going to throw up on the screen. Looks like Lee Chaos 0332. Chaos, or however you say that. Hulk Smash You, Gamma Crush, his most favorite comic book character, period. I play him on Marvel vs. Capcom 2, 3, and Ultimate. I am starting to collect them all as far as Heroclix go. I've been waiting for a competitive Hulk since the start of the game. When I first started, I feel as you did, Charge was a bit nerfed, and range characters were just better. This Hulk with Gauntlet is just so good, and stats are amazing. And kind of why we chose him is, we wanted to pick somebody who stated that Hulk was their favorite character, and he says it's his favorite character. He says he's been waiting for competitive Hulk. We can both relate to that.
And he plays Marvel vs. Capcom.
He plays Marvel vs. Capcom. I mean, he clearly watched the video, and obviously everybody watched the video. There were some close seconds here. I don't want to go through every single one. There was a lot that we liked, and if we're not contacted by these guys, we'll figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, if you've won your Hulk, please contact us on YouTube using the same account name you did to post your comment. We will get a hold of you, we'll get some address information, and we will send out your Hulks. Follow us on Twitter. Naomi runs that. You can catch her in some of our other videos. Say hello, Naomi.
Hey.
That was Naomi. Click like if you like the videos. Click subscribe if you want to see future videos. We don't always advertise our videos, and if you subscribe, that's the only way you're going to know we put them up.
If you have any more questions or any ideas for future contests, please let us know in comments. You can find us on HC Realms. I am Epic.
I'm Rabbit.
And this has been the Heroclix Show.
Have a good night. Hey, I'm Rob, and this is my sidekick, Scott. Tonight we're going to be talking about the last week's IG tournament. Or did you want to hop in on this?